lovelies, welcome back to another video. My name is Jade and I help people reclaim back their power physically, mentally and spiritually. Now today I'm going to be talking about the third eye, how to open your third eye and a warning about opening your third eye, and basically explaining what is it. Now, if you're a spiritual person, which you probably are, clicking on this video, I'm pretty sure you would have heard about the third eye and probably already know what it is. But to be physical, the third eye is basically the pineal gland that is in the center of your brain, basically at the eye level of your forehead here. So the third eye in a metaphysical spiritual aspect is basically your gateway. So the third eye is the gateway to source. It's basically like a spiritual energetic antenna that you have built into your body, so you can have direct communication to God, to spirit guides, to ghosts, to anything basically. And the third eye is heavily associated with enlightenment. And what is enlightenment? Essentially, enlightenment is basically having complete clarity. It's full conscious awareness of what and who we are. And it doesn't mean you have to know all the answers of the universe, but you kind of become lucid. The thing that can happen that many people experience is basically when they go through a spiritual awakening, that in essence is their third eye being activated, and it helps you become lucid within this dimension that you are living in. Because essentially this is very much like an illusion. This reality that we are living in is very much like a dream. And just like a lucid dream in this dimension, when you have that spiritual awakening, when your third eye begins to be activated, you become lucid, you wake up. You're no longer in that lower state of consciousness where you're literally just like a robot, unconsciously living this life and being completely convinced that everything you think is completely real. And this, solid reality, this very dense 3D reality is all that is. It's a very limited boxed consciousness, a boxed paradigm. And when you open your third eye and really have that intent to know true wisdom, to inhibit true wisdom, to really know deep knowledge, to access the Akashic records, which is basically accessing deep hidden knowledge, you go there, your consciousness is elevated to a whole new different paradigm. It's a whole new different frequency that your body, your mind, your spirit is then activated onto. Now, it's important for human beings to really have a de-calcified third eye, because if you have a blocked calcified third eye, which means it becomes very blocked and shut down and dormant, it's very difficult for you to have clarity. It's very difficult for you to inhibit genuine love. It's very difficult for you to get downloads from your spirit guides, from basically source itself. It's very difficult for you to live your life in a state of love. It's very, you're very prone to falling into fear, because fear is heavily associated with the reptilian DNA built into our brain. It's very much heavily associated to the root chakra and basically the lower level chakras of just survival, of just mating, eating. It's very primal. And of course, we all need to have that sort of primalness to ground us. But it becomes a problem when the higher chakras, especially the third eye, is shut off, because then you don't have access to spirit, you don't have access to higher knowledge, you don't have access to higher consciousness downloads, education, energy, frequency, which really completely transforms you, because you remember who you are. You are now able to have higher intuition, clairvoyancy. If you have spiritual gifts already, you will develop them even further. If you don't have spiritual gifts, new ones may even come to you. You basically just become more and more powerful, but in a way that benefits you, not from a state of ego, but from a state of love and just benevolent, higher states of awareness. So it's really important to eat certain foods, high vibrational foods. It's really important, especially to have clean water. Clean water is so vital for your third eye to be clean, because the most number one thing that calcifies the third eye is fluoride. And of course, many people think this is a conspiracy, but there is many things and lots of evidence showing how dangerous and toxic fluoride is to the human body, and even showing how it actually calcifies people's pineal glands. And this is really detrimental to people, and I believe this is why certain people are born without any spiritual gifts, because obviously you inherit all the heavy metals as well from your mother, and then you're born already with a low functioning pineal glands, because heavy metals as well are the second thing that massively shuts down your third eye. And unfortunately, heavy metals, fluoride, is in tap water, it's in the water we bathe in, it's in a lot of things. And just cutting out fluoride, so making sure that you're drinking clean water from, you know, Highland Spring or Evian, or, you know, more importantly, water that comes in a glass bottle, not so much in plastic. Or if you're lucky enough to get fresh spring water, like directly, that will be the most powerful, beneficial water for you, for the human body and your pineal glands. And another way that you can do this also is to use a filter. I personally have a Kangen machine which filters out all the chlorine, the fluorides, the heavy metals, all the shit that they basically put into tap water. I have a Kangen machine that basically ionizes the water to completely filter that out. They are pricey, but if you are interested in purchasing one for yourself, send me a message on Instagram or contact me through my website. But essentially the best thing you can do is just start with, you know, bottled water. That's what I did for years, and it still worked. But it's very important to understand with the third eye, it's not what people can make it out to be. A lot of people get interested in the third eye because they think, oh, as soon as I open my third eye, I'll be able to astral project, I'll be able to be telepathic, telekinetic. They instantly associate it with superpowers almost. And of course, that is definitely possible, but that takes years of training and, you know, absolute focus. But that's not essentially what it is. The third eye being awakened is really a massive shift in your consciousness. It's a massive shift from 3D to 5D. And it really is difficult to explain until you go there, until you feel it. You basically have complete awareness of what's going on in the world. You can feel the energy of everything. It makes you basically extremely sensitive. And you're now being able to see through the veil of things. It's like you're wearing special glasses. It's very much like that film They Live, where that man puts on the special sunglasses and he can see the truth of now everything around him. That's what opening your third eye is. And for this reason, it's not recommended for people who are like faint of heart to actually open their third eye, because it can almost send some people to madness. It can sometimes send you a bit crazy, a bit loopy, because you're not quite prepared for it. And it's difficult to accept, because sometimes the truth is hard, sometimes the truth is a bit scary, and you have to have a certain spiritual maturity to consciously accept that, because sometimes your fear can be triggered too much, and then that can completely make you just go into a state of cognitive dissonance, and then you just shut everything down, and then you get stuck and more paralyzed than you were before. But once you open your third eye, it's really difficult to go back to your old paradigm. It's probably impossible. You can kind of dumb yourself back down, and you can lower your frequency. But once you open it and see the truth, it's like, it's a done deal. You will now forever have that in your subconscious. You will find it really difficult to go back to sort of mundane, normal life. It's very much like when you're in a lucid dream. It's now impossible to go back to believing you're just dreaming, because once you wake up in a dream, once you become lucid, it's like, oh, this is a dream. And you can't go back to dreaming. It's like you're now lucid, and that is what the third eye is, but in this dimension, in your waking life. So be warned, be cautious, and it's a long thing as well. It's a process. In my opinion, it takes a good sort of 30 days to really do the work for your, depending how calcified your pineal gland is, but in general, it normally takes a good month, around 30 days, to start to really feel it, to really start having that shift in vibration. Sometimes you can have real profound downloads through meditation where it can seem very instant. However, it's still a process. And I know this from my own experience. Like when I first started my spiritual journey and first started to actively work on decalcifying my third eye, my consciousness was completely different to how it is now. So it's always, you're always evolving, you're always growing, you're always growing, as long as that is your intent, and as long as you avoid certain things that lower your frequency, that decalcify your pineal glands. And there is a lot of things that do, unfortunately, because certain people don't want humans to have their third eyes activated, because when you do, you can't be controlled, you can't be brainwashed. And again, I can't go into that here because I'll get censored. But just know that it's your built-in spiritual antenna that you have in your brain, and it's your right to activate it. It's your right to have that connection to benevolent, divine light beings. And that is ultimately the main goal, because once you make that connection, you now have the best guidance that you could need. You now will have so much content. You will have so much more peace in your life. You will find detachment so much easier, because you really now see the world and illusion and materialism for what it truly is. You see that it's all an illusion, and really that love is only the real thing. And that's the highest thing that everyone should be going towards. And of course, it will assist you in things like astral projection, in meditation, in lucid dreaming, and achieving really advanced different states of consciousness. Because when you have a calcified pineal gland, it's very difficult. Some people are naturally born with these sort of psychic gifts. And that is because they would have achieved them in their previous lifetimes. So if they had a past life being a witch or a warlock or a wizard, etc., or anyone who was just spiritual and achieved that sort of skill, then it would have been passed on into their next life. However, for the majority of people, they're not born with these sort of gifts, so they actively have to help that. But even if you are born with these gifts, like I was still very much trapped in a dark place until I actively done the work to further decalcify my pineal glands, because over the years it got calcified. When I was a young girl and a teenager, for example, the veil for me was very thin. I would see spirits and orbs and all kinds of beings and entities all the time. But as I grew older and I started drinking alcohol, drinking more fluoridated water, coffee, meat, just GMO foods, just low frequency things that just, are toxic to your body, it made me go down in frequency. It made me become more shut off, more desensitized to higher vibrational beings, higher vibrational entities. And it can be very sad, because then if you have this gift, you are meant to be a spiritual person, you are meant to be an oracle, you're meant to be a healer, and you, more than anyone, must have a clean third eye so you can do the work that you came here to do. And so you can have a connection to your spirit guides and to source or God, or whoever you want to label it as. But it's such an incredible thing, and it massively helped me on my path, and it helped me let go of so many toxic people, addictions, many things that I was struggling with. So really make this your priority, as I did years ago, and I think it's truly the #1 thing that should be the first step that should be taken on the spiritual path. So if you do want to learn how to really decalcify your third eye, I have created a free ebook, so completely free for you to get instant downloads. All you have to do, I'll put the link in the description box below, and all you have to do is just type in your email and then it will be sent to you, and then you can click the button and have an instant download on your phone or tablet or whatever. So, and it's a basic guide of, basically it's called Third Eye Detox. So like I've just been talking about, it will be a nutritional guide of basically what to let go of that calcifies your third eye, and what to eat, certain supplements that I took. And of course with supplementation, as I go on as I explain in the ebook, you have to be, you know, careful with it. But this is just the protocols that massively worked for me. I will never sell anything that I haven't experienced or tested on myself first, and I have been doing this for a good 5 years, and it massively transformed me. It massively shifted my consciousness to a completely high level that I was before. So the link is in the description box below. So I really truly hope that this guide will help you, and it's designed to help activate your third eye within 30 days of consistently following it. So I hope this video helps you. I hope this inspired you, and do like, subscribe and share my content, and lots and lots and lots of love and light to you. Hands up.